Christ is in our midst.
He is and ever shall be.
Let me just say a word. The church commands us to teach on such an edifying occasion, something. So, some time ago, it's not important when it was, this young man came to me, came in front of me here in beautiful Barnes Ferry, which is fast becoming the center of the universe, and said, I would like to find a church, some land, and a wife. Now, that doesn't happen every day. So, and I said, well, not necessarily in that order, right? Church, a wife, and some land. Okay. And now, today, on this great auspicious day, it culminates the completion of all three. Because he's been brought into the Holy Orthodox Church, or shall we say, he rediscovered it from his childhood. He found some beautiful piece of property on the paradise over here. And now, he is united to his bride, who he's been waiting for many, many years. Glory to God. A word about, seriously, a word about civil marriage and Christian marriage. Two different things completely. So, the civil marriage happens out there somewhere. You go to the courthouse, you sign a paper, and you have a contract. And that contract can be broken at any time, either by choice or by death or by a million things. But this covenant that we do in the church today can never be broken. Even if you don't live together ever again. This covenant will never, ever be broken. And this covenant, you'll have to stand like this, like you're standing now, in front of the judgment seat of Christ and answer for the covenant. But of course, when you love each other, and you have no self-interest, like selfishness, it's a joy to stand before the judgment of Christ and say, I offer you my sacrificial love for my beloved. I offer you my giving of my life for this person in you, Christ. Because the marriage is not between 1 plus 1, 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 1. Somehow that math works. I'm going to share a couple of sections of this beautiful sermon by Father Emilianos of Naples, who just reposed last year. It's a beautiful wedding sermon. I would love for, maybe I'll send it out to everyone, but I want to share just some key points following on this idea. Father Emilianos says, one wonders what people today think about the sacred institution of marriage, this great mystery blessed by our church. They marry, and it's as if two checking accounts or two business interests are being merged. Two people are united, but without ideals. Two zeros, you could say, because people without ideals, without goals, are nothing more than zeros strong. Such people are often empty inside, and so in their home life they feel a real void. They find no gratification there. Thus they rush and slide from here to there, anywhere else, in order to find their happiness. They marry without knowledge, without a sense of responsibility, or simply because they wish to get married, or because they think they must in order to be good members of society. But what is the result? We see it every day. The shipwrecks of marriage are familiar to all of us. A worldly marriage, as it is understood today, can only have one characteristic: the murder of a person's spiritual life. Success or failure, progress or ruin in our spiritual life begins with our marriage. Begins with our marriage. It's like your new life is beginning just today, after a long time. Because this is such a serious matter, he's going to consider some of the conditions necessary for a happy, truly Christian marriage. So let me interject and talk about just a little bit how it's very difficult. And you've heard me a million times say, very difficult without a community to find your way into the kingdom of God. So, in all seriousness, I saw the person standing alone, and I've seen this one standing alone for a long time. And it's hard to find your way into paradise. It's not impossible, but it's very hard if you're not married. Or run to the monastery, have a community of some kind, accountability, joy, the peace of humbling yourself before another person. Otherwise, people who live alone, can I say this loud enough? Tend to live selfishly, like monsters. When you come together, it's like, there's another elder, Serafin in Serbia, he says, when you come together, it's like putting two rocks in a rock grinder, and those rocks have a lot of sharp edges. Oh boy, have a blessed time. But you know what I've seen so far in this union already? Compliance brings peace. Stay to that, both of you. A little line from Elder Emilianos. As a rule, the normal rhythm of the spiritual life begins with marriage. Now, it's not so for you so much because you've lived a long life, but I'm telling you that it's going to intensify now. Your normal rhythm will be for as long as the rest of your life now. And that's a joy. You don't have to worry about, I intentionally left out all the parts of begetting children, but not the part of marriage of the body, because you know what? We don't believe that it's only for children to be married. It's not only for children. It's for the two of you to find your way into the kingdom of heaven, to save each other's souls, to, in fact, die to this life. And the rest of these days, even if it's 1 more year, or if it's 100 more years, the whole purpose is to move to the next life. That's all that counts. So I kind of enjoy the older marriage here. The older, like you're not 20 years old. I don't have to sit with you a million times and tell you like, blah, 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 blah. You know blah, 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 blah. Now it's just figuring all that out in the context of experience. Compliance brings peace and love and real humility. It'll save your souls. And that's all that the church, that's all that Christ cares about. Yeah, so just to finish that thought, he says, an unmarried person is like someone trying to live permanently in a hallway. He doesn't seem to know what the rooms are for. Thank God you found your way to this community. You will have many difficulties in life. There will be a storm of issues. Many you face already. Worries will surround you. And by the way, the enemy hates what you're doing. He hates the fact that you've become strong in the kingdom. He hates the fact that there's union here. His name, Diabolos, the devil, comes from tearing apart. To tear two things apart. We get our English word diabolical from that. So he hates unity. Christ is about joining together. The enemy is about tearing apart. So worries surround you. Maintaining your Christian life will not be easy. But don't worry. God will help you. Do what is within your power. Can you read a spiritual book for 5 minutes a day? Then read. Can you pray for 5 minutes a day? Pray. And this is an elder of Naples. He says, and if you can't manage 5 minutes, pray for 2. 2 minutes. The rest is God's affair. I love this. People say like our church is so long and formal, and the elders, they teach us no. It's about our love for each other and for God. And you do what you can. And leave the rest of the affair to God, he says. He says, and I'll finish with this one because he gives 3 purposes of marriage, but I'll say 1. The purpose of marriage, the aims. First, marriage is a path. The companionship of husband and wife is called a yoking together. Syzygia in Greek, the yoking together. That is, the two of them labor under a shared burden. Marriage is a journeying together, a shared portion of pain, and of course a source of some of the greatest joys of life. But usually it's 6 chords of our life which surround a sorrowful note. 6 chords, and only 1 which is joyous. Well, husband and wife will drink from the same cup, like you just did here at this table, of life's upheaval, of life's sadness and tragedy. And for instance, one of you will escort the other one first into the kingdom of God, like out of this life. That's what you're preparing for here, for the next life, right? This is the next life. During the marriage ceremony, the priest gives the newlyweds to drink from the same cup, called the common cup, because together in common they will bear one another's burdens in life. The cup is also called union, because they are joined together to share life's joys and sorrows. God said it is not good for the man to be alone, and so he placed a companion at his side, someone to help him throughout his life, especially in his struggles. When two people get married, it's as if they're saying, together we will go forward, hand in hand, through good times and bad times. We will have dark hours, hours of sorrow filled with burdens. But in the depths of the night, we continue to believe in the sun and the light, right? Oh, my dear friends, who can say that their lives have not been marked by difficult moments? But it is no small thing to know that in your difficult moments, in your worries, in your temptations, you will be holding in your hand the hand of your beloved. It's an adulteration of marriage for us to think that marriage is no more than a road to happiness, as if it were a denial of the cross. The joy of marriage is for husband and wife to put their shoulders to the wheel and together go forward on the uphill road of life. Life is not a party, as some people think. Remember, your life will be a cross, but a cross blossoming with flowers. Your marriage will have its joys, its smiles, and its beautiful things. But during the days of sunshine, remember that all the lovely flowers conceal a cross, which can emerge into your sunshine at any moment. You haven't suffered? Then you have not loved, says a certain poet. You have not suffered? Then you have not loved. Only those who suffer can really love. Marriage, in the words of an ancient philosopher, is a world made beautiful by hope and strengthened by misfortune. Just as steel is fashioned in a furnace, just so is a person proven in marriage, in the fire of life's difficulties. So you hear those words, those holy words from the elder. There's lots more that you'll experience yourself, that we would be here all night articulating all of those experiences. But now, you open up the doorway to make them all possible, to make all suffering tolerable. Right? To make all joy tripled, because you share it with someone, right? And most importantly, to be with Christ together, to inspire each other. So maybe one of you forgets or gets tired or, God forbid, even like starts turning away. The other one represents the Christian marriage and turns towards Christ and says, no, my beloved, let's not lose sight of this reality. It's not just about paying the bills. It's not just about building a new house, right? It's about our preparation for forever. Our preparation for eternity. That's why you're here. That's why we're here. To celebrate that. And for you, the two of you, to inspire us, to do better, to do marriage better, to do community better, to do the love of Christ better. So we wish you, in that endeavor, many, many blessed years. Grant the Lord a prosperous and peaceful life, health, salvation, furtherance, and all good things unto thy servants, the newly wedded, together with their sponsors, and all those here gathered together in this joy. And grant them many, many blessed years.
Bless, O Lord, thy servants now united. Grant them many blessed years. Grant them many blessed years. Faith in God, their children, and prosperity. And make them
the saints. So now you kiss your bride in that same spirit, a holy kiss. God grant you